Hello, algebra students. Here is our practice for our first quiz in algebra, and we'll be solving equations. So here we go. Number one. All right, all right. So like we said, we like to draw lines on the equal sign, and we already have all of our x's on the left side. There he is. Hey, Mr. X. So I want to move all the numbers to the other side. So remember, when we do that, we want to do the opposite thing. So since that's a negative 3, I want to put a plus 3 onto the other side. So on the left side, I just have an x over 5. And on the right side, I have 4 plus 3. So a 4 and a 3 makes 7. So my equation is x over 5 equals 7. And this is the part where we get to solve it. So we're going to solve this by multiplying. Remember, we have to do the opposite. So since this says divided by 5, us doing the opposite to get x all by itself would be to multiply by 5 on both sides. So I'll multiply by 5 on the left, and it undoes the divided by 5, which leaves me just with x. And then I do the same thing to the right side. So 7 times 5, and that's where I get 35. Honestly, this one's a lot easier than the ones we did in class, because the ones we did in class had the variables all over the place and had a lot more going on than what that one had. That one was basic compared to what you guys did in class. All right, on the other side, this is more like it. Yeah, so on this one, I see some parentheses. So we know when we have a number in front of the parentheses that we need to distribute. So we're going to distribute. And when we do, we have a 4 times m, so 4m, and a 4 times 0.6, and 4 times 0.6 is 2.4, and that minus m is still hanging out. So since I have these m's on the same side, they're going to stay on the same side. They're going to be hanging out together, okay? We want our variables on one side, and we want all of our numbers on the other side. So since I already have a 3.8 over here, that's cool, but I need to move that 2.4 to the other side. So remember, to move it to the other side, you have to do the opposite thing. So since that's a positive 2.4, remember we have to minus 2.4 to the other side. All right, so now we've got all of our numbers on one side, which says 3.8 minus 2.4, and if I do that math, then I do get 1.4. And on the other side, with my m's, I have 4 m's minus 1 m. 4 hot dogs minus 1 hot dog leaves me with 3 hot dogs. All right, all right. And then we finish it up by solving, and we're going to divide both sides by 3. And that leaves me with, oh gosh, 1.4 divided by 3. I don't really know what that is. 1.4 divided by, you know what? I'm going to, what should I do? 1.4 divided by 3. That's a repeating decimal. Gross. So we're going to leave it like that for right now. All right. So there we go. There we go. Next. Cool. Now this one has some pies in it, but no big deal. We're going to solve it like we do. We're going to do what we do. We're going to get all our numbers on one side. And pi is just a number. Pi is a number. You might know it as 3.14159 blah, blah, blah. So this is still just a number. Just a number. So I want all my numbers on one side. So like we do, if I want to move that minus 5 pi to the other side, it's going to be a plus 5 pi. So positive 5 pi. And I already have the minus 18 pi over here. So I have p equals, and 5 pi's minus 18 pi's. So that's going to be 13 pi's, and it's going to be negative. Cool. And that's all we do on that one. I just had to get my pi's on the other side because those are numbers. All right, they're funny looking numbers, but they're still numbers. So that one was weird, and maybe we need to do more like that in class. We'll put a star next to this one because it's funky. All right. Another one, we have some parentheses, so we're going to have to distribute again. All right, 3 times x, yup. And then 3 times 3, 9er. Did I catch a 9er in there? All right, so everything else just kind of came on down. Okie dokie. So like we said, we want to get all of our x's on one side. So I already have a 3x on this side, and I have a 3x on that side as well. So remember, to move it to the other side, I have to do the opposite thing. So I'll do a minus 3x. So now all my x's are on the same side. So, and I have to get all my numbers on the other side. I already have a minus 1 on the other side. And I need to put that 9 to the other side with the number. So I'll do minus 9. And that 10 needs to be on the other side. It was already a minus 10. So to move it to the opposite side, we need the opposite kind of 10. So I have 3x minus 3x, which is a big fat no x's. 0x, nothing. And then on this side, I have negative 1 minus 9 plus 10. So if I add those together, I get negative 10 plus 10, and you probably know that those make 0. So I have 0 x's equals 0. 0 x's is 0. So this is a weird situation that we haven't really seen yet in class, but I'm sure we're going to see it real soon, where 0 equals 0. So it's either going to be a no solution case or a infinite solution case. And when we take a look at lines later in the class, we'll see like a visual on what it means to have no solution, what it means to have infinite solutions. But for right now, you got to look at this and say, is this true or is this false? Is 0 equal to 0? If that's a true statement, then that means these guys have infinite solutions. If 0 is not actually equal to 0, then that would be a no solution. Well, obviously 0 is equal to 0, so this is an infinite solutions. If it said something like, if it was like 7 equals 15 or 0 equals 30, those would be no solutions, okay? But since this gave us a true statement, that means it's going to be an infinite solutions. All right, so those two were definitely more weird than some of the ones we did in class. But we'll make sure we do more practice like this before your quiz. All right, up next, you earn we done something like this. You earn $13.25 per hour, okay? So that means I earn $13.25 for every hour that I work, for every times the amount of hours I work. And it says you earned $34.50 before taxes. So that means I earned enough. I made a total of $34.50. So that's how we would write that equation. That $13.25 per hour means I'm going to do $13.25 times the amount of hours I work, okay? Like if it was $5 per hot dog, that would be 5H for $5 per hot dog. Or if it was $7 for each shirt, that'd be 7S for $7 per shirt, okay? This one happened to be $13.25 per hour. Cool. All right, so part A is taken care of. That looks good. And then it says solve the equation. Well, this is a one-stepper. We already have all our h's on one side. We already have our numbers on the other, so we just need to divide by 13.25. All right, so I have 34.50, and I'm dividing by 34.50 divided by 13.25. That didn't come out so nice. I'm going to try that again. 34.50 divided by 13.25. Ew, gross. I worked about 2.6 hours. There was a lot more fun stuff at the end of that, but if we round it to the nearest tenth, we got 2.6 hours. Cool. That's not very many hours. That's not going to pay my car insurance. Here we go. Sadie and her sister Reagan are competing to see who will be first to have enough money in their savings account to buy a PlayStation 5, which costs $450. All right, Sadie has $300 in her savings account. So Sadie has $300, and she deposits $10 each month. So $10 every month. All right, so that's the Sadie equation. All right, the Reagan equation. Reagan has $250 and deposits $20 each month. All right, so I was able to quickly write an equation for both of these kiddos. Now we have to pick out which things are going to be true. First one says that Sadie's total amount, so this S equation, is going to be 300x plus 10. That's almost right, but they have the variable in the wrong spot. So, wrong. The next one says Reagan's total amount is going to be 20x. Okay, I used M, but whatevs. Plus 250. So even though it's in a different order, it's still the same stuff. So we like that one. Good job. All right, this one says they'll have the same amount. For them to have the same amount, that means their two equations would have to be equal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set their two equations equal to each other. You guys did quite a few of these in class. So line down the middle, all my letters on one side. So I already have a 10m over here, and I need to move this 20m to the other side, so it's going to be a minus 20m. All right, and I already have a 250 on the right, so I need to move over this 300, so it's going to be a minus 300. And then let's combine it. Let's make this pretty. So 10m's minus 20m's is a negative 10m. 10 minus 20, it's going to be negative 10m. And then over here, 250 minus 300 is negative 50. All right, and then we'll divide by negative 10, so we can get m all by itself. And negative divided by negative is a positive. 50 divided by 10 is 5. So m stands for months, so that means in 5 months they'll have the same amount. So that means this thing is wrong and this thing is right. All right. So who can buy the PlayStation first? Oh, all right. So we have another task ahead of us. So this one asks when they're going to have the same amount. That's why we made the two equations equal to each other. This one says, who's going to get the PlayStation 5 first? So we need to see how long it's going to take them to save up that $450. Okay? There's another way to do this too, but we're gonna tough it out this way. All right. So let's start with Sadie. Sadie wants $450 so she can get that PlayStation. And here's Sadie's equation. All right, so I already have all my m's right here on the right side. I just need to move that 300 to the other side. So I'll do 450 because it's already there, and I've got to move that 300 over. Okay, the 10m was already by itself, so that's cool. All right, so I got 450 minus 300. I think that's 150. And we're going to have to divide. 150 divided by 10, 15 equals m. And remember that means months. So in 15 months, Sadie can buy a PlayStation. All right, I need some more room to work. All right, let's talk about Reagan. Let's go purple for Reagan. So Reagan, let's see, she is 250 plus 20m equals, and she needs $450 for that PlayStation. Okay, so, and again, our m's are already on the left side on this one, and I got 450 on the right. I just need to move this guy to the other side to be with the other numbers. So move it to the opposite side. We'll have to do the opposite thing, minus 250. So I have 20m equals 450 minus 250 is 200, I think. And then we have one step to solve it, divide. Because remember, trying to get m by itself. So we divide, and we have m equals 200 divided by 20, which is 10. So that means it's going to take Reagan 10 months. So it's going to take Sadie 15 and Reagan 10. So it sounds like Reagan is going to get the PlayStation before Sadie does. All right, guys. So I know that was a lot, but it was super fun. Hope you had as much fun as I did. All right. If you have questions, ask them in class. See ya.